Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another broadcast on Playstuff TV. Tonight we've got Playstuff facing off in the UGC Cup against Large Piece of Beef. This is the first week of the playoffs in the Platinum grouping for the EU UGC. We finished the season, we got into the playoffs in 10th position, and Large Piece of Beef was 7th. So this is going to be an exciting game. Both teams already having proven themselves to be a force to be reckoned with. And I'm looking forward to a really exciting match tonight. I'm going to try and be a little bit less biased than usual, but you'll have to excuse us. We are from Playstuff. We do support Playstuff. And we are going to be able to... we're going to find it very difficult to not be biased. So I'm here with Nuttmegger. Hello, Nut.
Hi there, Logan. How's it going tonight? Have a good Easter?
Yes, all good, mate. All good. A little bit too much chocolate, but if there is such a thing. And we're being produced tonight by Jimbo McBee, as ever, who's making sure that the pictures reaching you are nice and clear and quality. It should be an exciting game. All the guys are on the server now, or just joining the server, and we'll be kicking off with the action very shortly. So, exciting times in the playoffs.
Yeah, we've put ourselves into a very good standing, being sort of mid-rank playoff division. So we're in 10th, which out of the 16 we're sort of middle in the way, which means that we face off against another team because we have a reverse seeding system. So we play against another mid-ranked team. If we come in at the bottom, then we would have been playing the top seed straight away, which would have been a bit scary. But certainly in with a chance this week against a Large Piece of Beef. I'm getting more biased in my casting again. Playstuff potentially doing well against this Russian opponent. An interesting team. They're a bit better ranked in ETF2L, where they are actually a Division 3 team. Playstuff, of course, being challenged in Division 4. So it will be an interesting opponent to say. I think they've not been proven, neither team actually being proven on payload so much. Playstuff previous match against payload was against a team called Panoptica, who were actually a no-show, and that was the only other payload round we could have had. So it'll be interesting to see that dimension to their play.
Absolutely, I'm really looking forward to it. Actually, on PL Upward, it's going to be a good match. The map is very good for competitive play. There's a lot of different points that can produce some epic battles. A lot of nice chokes. There's plenty of scope for some good games. Plenty of tried and tested tactics on this match. We've seen many a competitive side playing on it, even especially in Highlander as well. I think it's going to be a good test of the guys' skill tonight and their composure. They've done well to get this far. They're obviously only 16 of the 80 or between about 80 and 100 in Europe East and 80 and 100 in Europe West. Went together, I believe, to form this final playoff group of 16. As Nut says, we're both mid-table placements. I think next week, if we are successful this week, because it's a single elimination now we're into. If we're successful next week, we'll be facing second place, I believe, if they do as they're expected. I believe that's the Vanilla TV team. No, is that right?
Yeah, let me just check that out. It is definitely the second place we are placing. Well, that's of course if they beat their opponent this week, which is Cholera. But Vanilla TV, XTV, going to be the second seed as our most likely opponents in the next round. I'm actually extremely excited about the map choice this week. Interestingly enough, PL Upward is going to be played in this week's challenge for ETF2L as well. So I'm doubly happy because I'm a big Pyro fan. I like Upward because it's got lots of cliffs to push off. It's Wonderwee was getting very excited. I was just chatting with him earlier, tried to give him a couple of tips of sneaky little passages I know on this map. I know this map very well.
Yeah, always a Pyro's favourite. I know as a demo man that likes to take to the air quite often, I'm regularly faced with a landing cushioned by a friendly Pyro who would prefer me to be on the other side of the cliffs.
Yeah, gladly escorting you across there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Yep, should produce an epic game. I believe we're just on this map this week. It's just the one map. And no, what format is it tonight? What does it take to win?
Well, we're up against a stopwatch format, and it's going to be a best of 3 in the stopwatch. How you win around a stopwatch is that you basically have to cap all the points faster than the other team caps their points on their attacking runs. So you get two attacking runs with each team being attackers, and if both teams do not manage to capture all 4 points in that round, then it's basically the fastest to cap the most number of points are the criteria. So it can produce tense rounds for the second half, where you've got to get to cap 3 faster than them, but it doesn't matter if you capture 4, and it can play out a bit of havoc with the rules, and certainly nice for bringing moments of tension into the battle.
Yeah, sure, and that produces an interesting dynamic on this map. Actually, usually in competitive play, we see teams favouring defending particular points on the map, and if they lose those points, falling back to defend the next particular point on the map, the next cap point, basically, which is very different from public play, where generally it's just people trying to prevent any progress whatsoever. It requires a little bit more organised strategy on this because of the respawn times of the defending side. And because the priority overall is simply to stop the other team getting to the next point in the same time that you get there. So, should produce a really good game, like I say. The guys getting ready on the server now. We can probably move our view over to them, see them pottering about, getting ready. This isn't the game starting. This is just something for you guys to look at home. And you'll be able to check out their beautiful headgear, which I noticed the demo man sporting a particularly fetching pink afro for large piece of beef, the guys from Russia.
I believe you had a pink afro as well, Logan. Is that right? Or was yours...
It was pink at one time. It's now Playstuff orange. I got
you like to dye your hair?
Yeah, it's nice to go to the hairdressers with your afros once in a while. Just kind of change them up. I'm just gonna have to take a big slug of a drink to wake me up. Easter, lots of eating chocolate, lots of sitting around, and not enough doing stuff, I think. And also, it's been IPL this weekend. If anyone's been watching that home, very exciting. Some great StarCraft 2 and League of Legends play going on. Finishing finally this morning at about 8 a.m. UK time, so that was a challenge to stay up and see that.
We're into setup and the game's about to start now.
It does indeed. Okay, the test card's still showing. Should we go over to the game, Jim? Great stuff. There we go.
Okay, so Playstuff are playing in red. They will be defending the first round. More than likely, a couple of their players during setup will suicide to give metal to the engineer. Interesting to see where the engineer sets up. There's a few standard places on this map, so let's see what Almighty Bob does.
Yeah, sure. And very common place to set up would be just through the first barrier before the first point. Actually, he's setting up behind that barrier for now, but he will obviously move his stuff forward once it's erected. I'd expect up to 4 of the classes of Playstuff to kill themselves for metal. We shall see. That's standard form, really. And Almighty Bob's going for a little bit different sentry placement. We quite often see it up there on the ridge. He's gone for the lower placement of the sentry. And we'll see how that pans out.
The way he's placed it, it's going to be an interesting contest for that little health pack ledge where you can see Spud currently hanging around. If they get that position, they'll be able to bomb down that sentry, but I'm not sure if that's going to move up. Anyway, it looks like the game has actually started. The medics, let's see what they're rolling with. We have placed up with the regular Uber, and it looks like a large piece of beef are rolling with regular Uber as well. They're currently looking to Uber the heavy, but they're going very tentatively. Risking a lot of headshots. The priest getting a good shot on Lugabu. He doesn't have a pronounceable name. They're not pushing in too hard. They're waiting for more players to come down, I guess.
They are, and here we go. I thought that was a large piece of beef with you. They have their Uber. They're rolling crits. But the medic gets taken down by the priest. That's a lovely shot by the sniper for Playstuff. The spy for large piece of beef taking down Playstuff's heavy.
Yeah, I was interested in that choice. He had an opportunity to put the sapper on that sentry, which seems to be stopping the heavy medic combo from progressing any further. They've switched to the other flank now. It looks like they're getting a good position on or surrounding that tower, besieging it. But Playstuff not losing any players so far, hanging back behind that point, and they're just waiting for their attack to come to them. It looks like Lemminwinks is going up with the buff banner, taking the high ground, forcing the Uber to come in, and it'll be interesting to see how much damage they get done.
Absolutely, and you can see that a large piece of beef made very good progress here. They've moved the car very far forward. Unusual choice of the sentry placement by Almighty Bill, but I'm sure he's practiced it. Don't know what to think about that. No? It's allowed large piece of beef to get an awfully quick first cap. 1 minute 37 for the first point. That's significant time. Going to be hard to beat. And they press on. Playstuff now respawning, most of them dead. The Uber going 50% to large piece of beef now. Whilst Playstuff's medic is still to spawn, so they will continue to push out, and they will be making a very good time on this second point approach. Let's just see if Playstuff can hold them off long enough to give them a bit of breathing room as they move into their round once this is over.
I don't think they're going to have much breathing room to work with, because Stabby, the large piece of beef's medic, is currently at 100%. That heavy looking like he's wants to go in, calling for his medic for the Uber. He drops down. The sentry's already taken out by the demo, and it looks like they've got a lot of ground, and that card is going to roll in uncontested.
Yeah, and in an effort to make sure that this is not a biased cast, I have to say, and this is just a simple statement of fact, actually, large piece of beef currently rolling Playstuff. Some interesting choices by them. I'm not so sure on the decision to let the heavy just stand out there on his own, shelling without any cover from the medic. I'm guessing that their priority was to get the medic's Uber up, but hasn't paid off. The Uber coming in from large piece of beef, taking out the whole of the Playstuff team pretty much, and Playstuff forced to fall right back. Large piece of beef pressing on, and this is as good as it gets time, I would suggest. Large piece of beef rolling with the mini sentry, push the car. Here come Playstuff, forced to blow their Uber early because of some pyro hassle from large piece of beef, and they try and press forward to use that Uber for some damage, but the pyro for large piece of beef, he's pushing back. That must have been the spy then took them here. It was the spy that forced them to blow the Uber earlier. Ragdoll telling lies.
Some fantastic work from Lynn, the large piece of beef pyro there, but it looks like the Uber is coming in on the heavy in the demo, a multi-Uber. The sentry getting up and wrangled, pushing them back, but they seem to have gained a lot of ground in front of the cart. So the scout, having a bit of a boring time pushing the cart by himself, but he has the double speed, so that's his job in this situation.
Absolutely, and I think the Playstuff certainly they're certainly come out with a strategy here. The strategy being to keep the medic hidden at all times. Medic's Uber being the most all-important thing. The problem that they're having with that is that the rest of the team don't seem particularly used to that. That's definitely not something they've commonly done in the past. It's a more pro strategy. I have to say, you'll see teams in the higher leagues always keep their medic well out of you and get that Uber. But the problem is the medic's not there at the front line to keep the damage dealers, the demo man and the soldier, healed up. And so whilst you get the Uber, and both teams have an Uber now, you have a little bit more trouble out at the front causing damage. So we'll see. That large piece of beef pressing on. Playstuff really kind of letting them press on. Looking pretty weak. There's a scout on the cart at the minute. It's almost on the point. Playstuff blow the Uber, come down, take out the pyro before he gets a chance to blow anyone into the middle of the map. And a soldier raining down rockets on Playstuff from up above on the balcony, and Playstuff look in trouble.
Yeah, we managed to take out the medic at some point. It must have been a spy pick. I didn't see it myself, but they seem to large piece of beef lost their Uber, so that will give us some time to recuperate. But their next wave will be coming in pretty soon, and we've given them a lot of ground. I mean, if you look at the cart position, it's 10 feet away from the actual cap point. So the next push that goes well for large piece of beef will be the victory.
Yeah, and they just took down Playstuff's heavy there. Both heavies coming face to face. Large piece of beef were already spun up and took him down with some ease. And the scout Jimmy for Playstuff running around, causing as much hassle as he can. Large piece of beef forced to regroup outside. Just take up a little bit of defensive position till all their players spawn. They now have the Uber advantage. They're pushing in with this Uber. Let's see what they can do.
Looks like Hyper's going to get him up to his Uber just after this Uber finishes, which will be excellent timing. Lemmy Winks has his buff banner again, so he's obviously been doing some damage. He comes out with his team, he takes out, a very nice rocket to the back of the car, and another one, takes out about 4 or 5 players there, getting the kills. And he's going to retreat back now that he's done the damage, as our large piece of beef. Playstuff live to fight another day, it seems.
Yeah, and their defense, they're getting a chance to breathe now. No, they've been rolled up until this point, there's no doubt about it, but getting a bit of a chance to breathe, having a bit more luck. They've got an Uber in hand. 25% Uber on large piece of beef side and 100% on Playstuff side, but here come large piece of beef. The heavy is on the car and it goes down. The sniper being taken care of by the Playstuff heavy before he can pick on the sentry or the Playstuff sniper. So all in all, definitely composed themselves. I would suspect been a little bit shocked by how quickly large piece of beef pushed to here. I'm going to have to find a different thing to call them than large piece of beef because it's such an awkward thing to be saying every time now.
Yeah. Maybe a cut of beef. What sort of cut? Large. Oh, I like that. That's good. It needs to be the right number of syllables, doesn't it? So
it does.
I'm interested in Snow's positioning here. He seems a little bit far forward, taking a lot of hits from the demo, but he manages to stay around there for the Uber, so it means the weak Uber manages to get his counter Uber on, and it's an Uber versus Uber fight, which of course doesn't yield the attackers any results, which is exactly what Playstuff want. They're pushing out a bit, but the Uber's over now, so more damage coming in than going out, so it looks like Larger Peak going for a counter attack on the back of this, losing the heavy, and I think that'll be their signal to retreat on that point.
Well, they took down Playstuff's medic. That was very nice, which meant the heavy then went down. Playstuff not really able to capitalise on that Uber any more than just defending with it. They weren't able to push around. Large piece of beef retreated nicely. They've also got their wrangled sentry. No, that's just gone down. Coming in now, LPB with 86% Uber, building up to 100, and as soon as they've got this, they're going to push forward round this corner and see if they can't take Playstuff down. Almighty Bob on the balcony with level 3 sentry, so he's not wrangling that, I've noticed. Oh, he is wrangling it. There he goes. He is controlling his sentry, and he takes out the heavy straight away. That's
yeah. That was most of the damage there was done by the priest, actually, the sniper, getting a couple of very good shots. Very proud of the priest because he seems to be taking out mini sentries. Oh, he's just gone down to the enemy sniper, unfortunately. But he's doing his job as a sniper and taking out those mini sentries, which can waste a lot of our soldiers' rockets and the demo's grenades, and expose them to have to take those out. So he's
and I've got to interrupt to just we're past the point now, but if you noticed, I don't know what you could see on the video, but there was an epic war going on there between the soldier for LPB and against the sentry for Playstuff, with Wandry, the pyro for Playstuff, defending it with air blasts. He was picked off by the sniper for LPB, unfortunately, and as soon as that happened, so the sentry went down, and LPB are able to push forward now with that sentry down. Crucial on this stage of the map for defence. Playstuff blow an Uber, LPB respond with a buff banner, and a soldier on the cart going to be taken out by Wandry the pyro for Playstuff.
That was a very clutch defense there. Our Uber was being blasted black by Lynn, again proving a crucial role in keeping our Uber at bay whilst their heavy was pushing the car. The buff banner was crucial to that defense there, as it allowed that extra damage and pushed them back. They didn't seem to lose many players though. I don't know if those are respawned players.
They've all just respawned, but while that was all going on as well, we have the epic sniper wars we've come to expect in competitive Highlander, with the priest and the sniper for LPB, IZQ, back and forth, taking important picks on each side, and then, as ever, facing off against each other. LPB got the worst of it that time. Spy taking down the heavy for LPB, lovely work by Playstuff, but LPB on the cart, a scout now pushing forward.
The scout is just blown up. The engineers there, I think they've pushed a little bit too far now, because we have the numbers up there and they don't. Is that demo going to charge in by himself? Yeah, I think we have this car for a few more seconds, but getting more tenser all the time, because, well, frankly, it's only about 3 seconds of pushing away from falling off into that big abyss there.
Yeah, really not much work to do on that cart now, but this a difficult point to push, especially if Playstuff can get the sentry up. It's now going up to level 2. Almighty Bob be working hard to get that ready for the next push by LPB. They're equal on Ubers at the minute, so there's no advantage either side. LPB just hanging back a bit, building up their Uber. Sniper trying to do as much work as he can, picking off Playstuff stragglers who, well, not stragglers, but people who separate from the more defensive positions on the map. And this soldier for LPB doing great work trying to take the sentry down to Playstuff. Wandery's, there we go, Wandery's back now, and he'll be reflecting these rockets onto the... Oh, that's lovely work. Reflecting the rockets onto the sentry of LPB. But here LPB are, they're pushing the cart. The Uber's throwing the pyros on the car, and they're going to take it. That's lovely work. Playstuff, all but one of them down, and LPB taking full advantage of that to take the point. In a total time of 11:41. So that's not as good a time as they'd have hoped, not considering how good they made, as far as how good progress they made on the first 3 caps.
Yeah, Playstuff using a very defensive position on all 3 points there. Not really getting a chance to set it up at point 3, but on the other 2 points, certainly sort of giving them a lot of ground. I think that didn't work out too well for them until the last point, which was a lot easier to defend from that late position, just to the nature of the point. So, yeah, capturing those first 3 points very quickly, but the last point delaying them quite a bit. I'll be interested to see what LPB's response to this is. If they use a similar tactic, holding back and giving most of the ground to the cart, or if they are much more aggressive in their defense and willing to risk a few players.
Absolutely, and just noticing on the stream, Boyley's complaining that the stream's lagging badly. Can someone else in the stream just confirm that is just Boyley? It looks perfectly smooth to me on my end. I'm watching here, but it'd be great if someone in chat would just right, we're good. Okay, so it seems to be he's just having a moan and it's his ISP, so we'll ignore that for now.
That was a fantastic point. Lemmiwinks jumping forward, getting a couple of shots, scaring the medic and forcing the Uber very early. Kyber, of course, still with the Uber, not quite reacting to that in such a panic mode, so he's got 100% Uber advantage. He goes in with Spud. They're going to lay waste with stickies. Lynn doing a very good job of reflecting the Uber. And it looks like that Uber didn't do quite as much damage as I thought it was going to do, but still an excellent move from Lemmiwink to step up that possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's have a look now where they're set up. LPB taking just as defensive position with this sentry nut. It's interesting. That's right the way back. Obviously harder for Playstuff to take a pick on. Still covers the point, especially as it's wrangled. We'll see if Playstuff can take that down. They're going to need to if they're going to push the point further on. But at the moment, Playstuff making far slower progress than LPB on this first point. The cart's stuck. The pyro and the scout will now push it. LPB have lost their spy, but everyone else is up. They've got the Uber. Playstuff building up to the Uber. They've got 5% to go. This heavy's looking vulnerable. He's been Girati'd and he's taken out by the sniper. Very nice work by the sniper.
Just on the sentry position, it's interesting putting it at the top of the hill because, of course, that means it can't take as much splash damage from, the bad angle that Almighty Bob had at the bottom. I think this is a bit of a more viable semi-tree position and it's doing more work for them.
I think so, yeah. I'm not sure why Playstuff put the sentry down there, actually. I've not seen that work much before. This position, as you say, very difficult for Playstuff to get splash on, but the spy for Playstuff, APOC here, doing a fantastic job. Takes out the engineer, takes down the sentry and the dispenser.
Not quite getting that all-crucial teleport, though. Isaac Q, the large piece of beef sniper, managing to take him out with the Girati knife combo. The teleports are crucial to the defense in all of these battles because it halves your respawn time effectively.
Yeah, for sure. And LPB just taking Playstuff down just short of the first cap here. Every second counts in stopwatch mode, so they've done a great job there. Held it off for a little bit longer, just enough time for the engineer to respawn and to get up. Albeit only a level 1 sentry again in the same spot, and Playstuff are now going to discover that the spot they have their sentry is incredibly hard to get splash damage on. Very good spot.
Sorry,
they've capped anyway. Well, no, they haven't. Is that capped?
It's It's still turning red on the little point icon there, so you can see that's on top of it, but not quite capped. Now it's capped. Just a quick little poke by the almighty Bob, the Playstuff engineer, takes that point. It's all it needs at this moment. However, they haven't really gained any ground from that. That doesn't really mean much in this context. So I'm just interested to see if we actually manage to break this sentry position. We had a good chance with that spy going down earlier, but the other players really stepping up and forcing back our attack.
Yeah, really good job by LPB. They're doing some great work. That sentry now up to level 2. As you say, they've held it on the first cap. Playstuff looking a little bit flustered, I'd have to say, at the beginning of this this round. Or rather, beginning of this match. They don't look as organised as we've seen them look in the past. I can't comment on LPB's previous performances, obviously not having seen them, but I know that Playstuff can do better than this. Don't know what it is that's holding them back. They've got the Uber now. They've both got the Uber, though, both sides. LPB's soldier coming around, going to try and get a pick on the medic, who's forced to throw the Uber. Very, very nice work by LPB, forcing Playstuff into that early Uber. And while the Uber pushes forward, the spy for LPB running behind Playstuff and causing devastation, taking out the engineer, taking out the heavy. Really nice work by them. Looking strong.
Same story as last time. The sentry actually went down to a very good combo play by the priest, our sniper, and Apocalypse the spy, one distracting from the other and enabling the sentry to go down, but Playstuff unable to capitalise on that. So what do you think is wrong with Playstuff's play at the moment, Logan? They don't seem to be getting anywhere. That's a difficult question.
I really don't know. I'm just getting distracted. There's lots of people moaning in chat about lag. Yeah, I'm going to ignore them. It's perfectly smooth for me. Get a better internet provider, guys. Quit your moaning in chat. I'll have to clear it for you. It's the mods as well. Just clear the chat. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they don't look organised. They look flustered. LPB doing a really solid job. The clock now on 6 minutes 25 left for Playstuff to push this. Both teams with the Uber. Playstuff have a full squadder. LPB lacking a spy and a soldier. The Uber's thrown for Playstuff. They're pushing in now. I'm not quite sure why they threw that Uber. It was possibly because the sniper's been doing damage, but really Playstuff's sniper's supposed to be taking care of that. So it seemed a strange choice. They do take down 1 or 2 from LPV, but really they jump in with the Uber and the rest of the Playstuff team gets taken down, so not very well coordinated push, not very good play from Playstuff, really.
Yeah, definitely losing more than they gained there. Lemmywinks popping in by himself. It looks like LPB are pushing back to defend the next point.
Yeah, they seem to have given this one up.
Well, I think they've realised that they can get a better defensive position over there, and that they can delay more time at that point if they're all together there, rather than going for that, because Playstuff were sort of pushing them right back to the doors, and of course it becomes harder to coordinate once you sort of push back to different exits, because it becomes easier to sort of deal with that guy, then that guy, then that guy, as opposed to having to deal with the whole team all at once. So I think quite a wise decision, quite a conservative decision for them. Playstuff will answer, of course, by saying thank you very much, we'll push the cart right back up to you. But again, it's going to be a similar situation as a good pick from IZQ picks out Kyber straight to the face with that headshot, and he loses a lot of Uber advantage. So Stabby, the PLV medic with full Uber advantage at the moment, 100% dead medic.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, an interesting choice to fall right back. It's always an option to set up a sentry on the shelf in the tunnel there. Good place to defend, buy yourself an extra few seconds, but I think a confident team knows that actually they don't need to be defending there if they get a nice strong defensive point set up where they have them. They can hold it for a considerable amount of time, which they are proving to be the case here. They're doing a very nice job of holding it. The wrangled sentry just far enough away so that the demo man is having trouble for Playstuff getting his stickies over there, taking that sentry down. LP just...
Sorry. I was going to say, Kyber not having the best of days, as Dystar, the PLB soldier, has a very good pick on him, jumps over those rockets, risks his own life and in fact loses it, but takes out Kyber again to lose Playstuff more Uber advantage, I'm afraid.
Yep. And LPV sitting happy with an Uber, full Uber. Their sniper and demo man had been taken down, just respawning now. Playstuff's pyro up at the top in the window. Playstuff's medic again holding right back. I'm not sure how I'm liking the way the medic's playing here. Super conservative, which is okay if they're in a defensive position, but they actually need to push here. And the problem with the medic that hangs back so much to trying to build up his Uber is if the rest of the team go down, the medic's been no use. Not really providing Playstuff with what they need to push forward, and LPB take it.
Just a note on the conservative medic, as we saw there, he actually Kyber switched to Kritzkrieg in a last-ditch effort attempt. But of course, PLB with that Uber advantage sticking back and ready for Playstuff's attack as it came in. Kritzkrieg versus Uber. We didn't stand a chance at the end there.
No. Being outplayed on all counts, I think there's probably no way of polishing a poop, as they say, and in more flowery language. Haven't really got a lot to say of any particular praise for Playstuff in that round. I think that they were outclassed by a large piece of beef. Let's just see what they can do as they take on the job of attacking first in this next round.
And it looks like we're going to have a bit of a break, actually. I think the breaks are rather arbitrary in this system, and it doesn't happen at a certain time. Maybe I have a feeling a few strong words will be mentioned across Bent. It will be interesting to see whether or not the Playstuff team, as a character building exercise at this time, decides whether they're all going to shout at each other and blame each other, or whether they're going to try and put something constructive together. I'm sure from the characters that they would do the latter.
Yeah, and I don't know whether Playstuff are actually missing having Callump in the side tonight doing the calling. He was playing last time, doing a really good job, very experienced caller. Almighty Bob, normally a great caller, but he's the engineer, so he's not up forward. The medic's the best caller to have, really. I don't know whether Kyber's doing any calling. The team look disjointed. They don't look like they're playing as a unit. They, as I say, are generally weak. They look hesitant and uncertain at every step, and they are really being put under ridiculous amounts of pressure by a skilled, coordinated and practiced large piece of beef. And I never thought I'd say that.
I'm trying to think of beef puns. I think we're being outflanked.
There are two. Sorry, go on.
Never mind, I'm just being stupid with beef puns. I think we're being outflanked.
Oh, I see. Is that my Skype chat that's going off? Someone's messaging me. Oh, it's you. Oh, okay. I'll leave it to you for a second. I'm just reading Skype. Okay, so we're switching servers here. We're moving over to our server. So we're just going to take a short break, guys. We're going to pause the stream while we get ourselves together here, and mute our chat while we organise ourselves. We'll be back right in a second.